Hello and welcome to my channel. To those who've been here before, video in English means only one thing, and it's a Kickstarter preview. In this case, it's Merchants of Karanor. Merchants of Karanor is a game I haven't heard of before. I only seen it on Facebook in one of the media groups where they were looking for reviewers, and I saw a map. And maps are something that I'm really drawn to, and my husband's as well. So we sort of thought, it might be a good thing to try it out, because sometimes little gems are hidden in between all those games that are being released and all those people who are trying to find someone to review it. Some people just don't get to do it, and we were lucky enough to get a copy that I'm sending forward later on, and I'm going to tell you about this game as much as I can. Merchants of Karanor is a 2 to 6 player game. However, at the start, I'm going to tell you that for 2 people, this game is not great. It shines at 5 and 6. However, now I know that improving the 2-player game, they're adding some extra rules, which definitely is going to make it way better experience. But for more people, this game was actually really fun. In Merchants of Karanor, you take up on a role of one of the merchants from one of the 6 cities. There is City of Unison, Port Feldham, Kian, Snowforge, Odyssea, and Tal Sadar. You take up on the role of a merchant, and you've got a little backstory that you take out from the pile. You either choose one or you just take one randomly, and that little backstory tells you a little bit about a little quest you have to do. However, these are not the main quests that are going to be in this game. In Merchants of Karanor, on your turn, you can do 4 different actions. You can do the same actions multiple times. There are 6 actions to choose from, and it's really not a lot, and the game is really quick. As one of your actions, you can move, and that move going through just a land is free. However, going through the sea you have to pay, unless you get some special abilities that allows you to do it free, or you can move more spaces. You can gather resources. Being in a terrain with resources, you take 2 of said resource and take it to your supply. You can work, which gives you money. You can speak to the people that live there and get a quest, and quests are really fun to do. There's usually a story on the card, there is a reward, and it shows you where on the map this quest is and what you have to do. Some of them have a second part, so that's why there's a second deck. You could perform a delivery, so there are a couple of deliveries always available there. With the number of resources to deliver, there's points and coins you get in exchange. You can hire an associate that gives you some extra stuff during the upkeep phase, or you can just show off that you've got money and build a villa. And there's only a few villas on the map, and each villa costs you 8 coins, but they give you points. And this game is a race to get 10 points. The first person to reach the 10-point threshold triggers the end of the game. However, everyone then gets another turn, and obviously you can have more than 10 points, and the most points wins the game. And the points are notoriety points, so getting those points also will give you the black market cards, because people are a bit jealous sometimes. But the black market cards are actually really fun. This is a game with loads of interaction between players, because the main thing of this game is you can trade whatever you want with whomever you want, whenever you want, as long as you both agree to do it. For example, I've got the fruit, and I've got tons and tons of fruit because I've somehow been sitting on that space for a long time and I've been making them. And what I really need to fulfill my quest is just a little bit of meat. So I find someone who's got loads of meat, because I don't want to travel all the way here. So I'll say, look, I'll give you 2 pieces of fruit and maybe 2 coins for this one little piece of meat you've got there. They're likely to agree. They might not be, because it might give us the last point if we finish that quest. However, maybe they want that fruit from us. Maybe they need the coins. There's definitely an agreement somewhere there to reach. And with 6 players, this is actually really fun, because you say, okay, I need that 1 piece of meat. What do you guys want? And you can just bargain. You can just have an offer from everyone and decide what you want. Oh my goodness, it's such a fun way to actually speed the game up a little bit and to have that interaction, because you don't have to travel all over the map to gather the resources, which is a pain with 2 players. That's why I know they're going to have like an open market kind of thing, because if the other player doesn't want to trade, then you're screwed. But if there is going to be an open market, brilliant, you can always trade over there. However, with more players, this is really fun, because you don't feel like you have to go everywhere. You just need to very cleverly think, what can you trade with him to make this count for you? The black market cards are fun as well, because they're very mean. They either give you good stuff or they are very mean to your opponents, and you don't have to play them. However, playing them makes this game really fun, and I'm not a fan of negative interaction, but in this game it didn't actually bother me that much. I actually felt like I'm not being picked on because I also had the cards and there were so many of us and we could actually, everyone was doing something to someone else. So that was actually really fun. The main thing as well is building the buildings, and you get a couple of buildings at the start. You always have 2, so when you finish one you draw another one, and buildings tell you what you need to build them and what you receive, and some of them give you extra stuff if you pay a little bit extra. And the buildings usually give you like an association with a guild that give you an extra move or give you money or give you points, and again, the most points wins the game. This is only a prototype, but it's a really good prototype. It's very well made. As far as I know, these things are final. The art is beautiful. I love the art in this card. Some of the cards have pending art, but the ones that I've seen are actually really, really pretty. I like the fact that these tiles all fit together. So when you're collecting things, you have your story, you have the board with your income, and then you're adding stuff. You're adding people over here, and then you're adding the associations over here, which is brilliant. So that makes a lot of sense, and it really looks really nice. I know they will be changing the token for the income, because at this moment it's just a square and it's going to actually look like a purse. But all the other tokens are just, you know, clearly visible what they are. I wish there was like a wooden upgrade. Little houses, obviously, as again, this is a prototype, and in this one, every color's got a different building, a different shape. I wish it stayed like this because it makes it more sort of appealing. But in general, I'm really surprised with how well this one is made. One of the better made prototypes we've ever received. And it's definitely a game that they've spent loads and loads of time developing. Yes, there is a couple of typos, but, you know, it's still just a prototype, and I'm sure it's going to be proofread before it's going to be produced. The atmosphere in this game is really fun. You've got your quests to do. You have the mean cards. You have some buildings to build. You're gathering the resources. It's kind of a pick up and deliver, but with a story, with quests, with player interaction, with the trading. Guys, this is actually a really fun mix. I didn't want this to be a Catan. I didn't want it to remind me of Catan, and it doesn't. It does in the sense that, you know, you have resources, you can trade and you build stuff, but there's so much more to it. I really like the quests. I really like the fact that you can read them out loud and make it all into a big fun story game. Then when you play it a couple of times and you obviously know the quests, which I'm sure in stretch goals there will be more of them, you don't have to read them out loud, so nobody knows what you actually are doing, and it's kind of sneaky, but it's fun. The interaction is amazing because you can, you never know, maybe your card will give you extra moves that you actually really need, or maybe it'll give you something to, for example, destroy. You can destroy opponents' buildings and definitely upset them. Depends if you want to ruin friendships or not. I think there is loads of replayability in this one, just because obviously being from different cities doesn't really do anything apart from setting you up somewhere else on the map. The backstories, yeah, there's only 8 of them, and you know, they don't really do much, but they give you some sort of goal for the beginning and starting items and things. But the whole core of the game is in how you're going to play it, how much you're going to invest in the trading, how much you're just going to be doing things on your own, how mean you want to be to people, how many quests you want to do, because quests also give you points. So, you know, there's loads of ways to win. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to actually interact with people. You can do everything on your own and race to those 10 points. So guys, this is a game that balances really well the multiplayer interaction and the sort of solitary play. If you don't want to be interacted with, and if you don't want to interact, you can say, look guys, I'm just gonna do my things, just leave me alone, and hope they're gonna listen to you. Merchants of Karanor was one of the biggest surprises we had on our table this year when it comes to prototypes, and I'm really hoping this game will be successful in the campaign because it's something really fun and really different, and was really enjoyable. I really enjoyed our time with this game, and I'm kind of sad I have to send this back. There's loads of prototypes we're receiving that then I can keep, and I'm not as fond of them, and this one I'm actually going to miss. So hey, let this be my review. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you'll be backing this one. Bye!